Family, thank you for coming back on board. This is Pillars of History, and as you know, we always come with updates that have been trending in the week, mostly from the AES states. So now we have a weekly recap of the updates that have been trending or some developments that have been going on in the AES states. The AES states of Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger, a lot have been going on there. Today we are going to focus on three major things. One, the certain visit of Captain Ibrahim Traoré to a certain county or a district in Burkina Faso called City. If I'm not mistaken, it is City. So Burkina Faso leader was received like Jesus. This is the love the people show this guy, and this guy really deserves love. He is not only loved by his people, but also the entire Africa and the black man race all over the world. So we are really thankful for his hard work, and he has been achieving some major things and some good developments. So let's focus on Mali also. On Mali, Mali, there was some good news that came from there, mostly this week. Though today, yesterday on Saturday, there was some also bad news that came from Mali. The Malian armed forces have been carrying out strikes. They have been neutralizing most of the terrorists. The terrorists have been on run for several days. Though they can come and attack suddenly, but the Malian armed forces are fighting them very, very hard. The armed forces of Mali are launching operations day by day. They are no longer in the place. They are not in the place now of defensive. They are now on offensive. They are hunting terrorists wherever they are. And I think you're going to see the report. I will drop the report in front. They have neutralized a lot of terrorist leaders. For the side of Burkina Faso now, I can say that Burkina Faso is free. Because Burkina Faso is a small country and easily managed. So the Burkinabe armed forces have already launched operations all over the country, and they have stationed various military bases in different parts of the country. So there is no any territory to be confirmed that it is under the terrorists' control. So this news in the weekly recap, they are always focusing on the fight against terrorism and the achievements or the developments that have been done or something good or positive that has come from the AES states. Indeed, they have performed and they are still doing a great job. Mali is a big country, so for it to be managed, of course, there must be time and coordination plus dedication of the Malian people. The Malian people now are divided by politics. Some support the regime of Assimi Goïta, others also oppose it. But some secrets within this week have been leaked that the opposition leaders have been in coordination with terrorists in order to destabilize Mali. They want regime change because if a civilian government is in place in any of those terrorist affected states, of course the terrorists benefit from that. They always threaten the government, and the government end up admitting or coming in talks with these terrorists. So that's how they have been doing their things for decades. But now, since the takeoff of these military leaders, the things totally changed. The country's military are very strong, and they can now fight the terrorists without mercy or any favor. So that's why the terrorists have been threatened. They want to collaborate with the people within Mali, mostly the opposition leaders who are saying that their rights have been violated because their political parties have been dissolved, and Assimi Goïta has extended 5 years. But indeed, he really deserves those 5 years because the civilian government has been in place in Mali since 2012, the launch of terrorists, but it has done nothing and it has yielded nothing. The military government that is in place now at least is doing something, and the people are really experiencing some changes. Though there is a lot of resistance, but I think there is no any revolution without resistance or without sacrifice. Definitely, some of the people are sacrificed and others coming out as brave warriors. So let's see the reports. We are going to first see the report of Captain Ibrahim Traoré being welcomed in that district that I told you. He was like a messiah, you know. He was welcomed like a messiah. Then another report, we are going to see the report about the farmer neutralizing several terrorists.
Supported by onboard snipers targeting fugitives and vehicles. The operation concluded that the pickup truck was neutralized and several bodies were observed on the site, confirming the effectiveness of the intervention. No other suspicious movements were noted after the base was neutralized. The Malian armed forces also carried out a strike in Tel Abyad in the Aglock sector. And there you have it. And the Malian armed forces responded to one-by-one terrorist ambush between Anifik and Aglock. An air-land operation made it possible to neutralize several senior terrorist leaders, Abdouas Seiko told us. The Malian armed forces have once again demonstrated their determination in the face of the terrorist threat. On June 12, 2025, as part of a logistics escort mission between the towns of Anfis and Aguel, the women launched an offensive operation against an armed terrorist group based in the village of Anilin, located about 40 kilometers north of Agdog. Led by deserter Captain Iso Fagushara, a figure known for his subversive actions, the terrorist cell suffered a heavy defeat. The assault was conducted effectively and allowed the neutralization of the 10 terrorists at the OB on June 13, 2025. Just a few hours after this confrontation, the same logistics convoy was targeted in the same area. The ambush did not surprise the women, however. A lightning-fast response supported by aerial vectors destroyed several enemy vehicles and neutralized their occupants, thus inflicting a second defeat on the enemy in less than 24 hours.
So, with that report, we also received another report lately on Saturday. A Malian reconnaissance aircraft was also forced to land, an emergency landing, of which it was a sudden landing, and the initial reports say that it had some failures, though investigations are still going on. And all the people who were on that aircraft, they were able to be rescued. The cabin crew is in good condition, and we really thank God for that. So the investigation is still ongoing. Here is the report.
Saturday, 8 p.m. Good evening, everyone. We begin this news bulletin with this press release from the General Staff of the Armed Forces. On June 14, 2025, a Malian combat aircraft with a mission was forced to make an emergency landing in the river near the Gao runway. The crew, Inden, was rescued. However, the aircraft suffered damage. According to initial reports, a sudden sandstorm is believed to have caused the accident. An investigation has been opened to shed light on the circumstances. The General Staff of the Armed Forces salutes the coolness of the pilots who averted a tragedy on the ground, as well as the responsiveness of the rescuers, emergency services and security forces. The General Staff assures that military operations are continuing without interruption throughout the country.